Hey guys, so today we are going to look at how people tried to change things in the United States during the Cold War. So, during the Cold War, many Americans asked why they should fight for freedom overseas while receiving unequal treatment at home. They created civil rights organizations to fight for equality using a variety of tactics. Thinking about your knowledge of US history, why do you think some Americans felt unequal in the United States? So, the first tactic that we're going to look at is called radical action. This is direct actions taken which challenged social norms. So these were people who were fed up and were like, we don't care what people say the right way to do things are. We don't care what people say the polite way to do things are. We're just going to get things done no matter how we do it. If that makes people angry, if that means we get in fights, then people get angry and we get in fights. Approaches that fall under radical action included taking over public government buildings, carrying guns in public, and doing things that the government wasn't interested in doing at that time, like feeding poor children. The picture right here shows a group of American Indians who took over a government building to demand equal treatment for their tribes and to demand that treaties their tribes signed with the federal government were honored. Do you think radical action is a good or a bad idea? Why? The next tactic was coalition building. A coalition is a group of people who come together to fight for a common cause. Coalition building involved convincing others to join and support the movement using marches, speeches, and boycotts. When you think about Martin Luther King and the way he went about his business, he was a big fan of coalition building. Do you think coalition building is a good or a bad idea? Why? The third option was through legal action. That involved suing the government to change unfair laws. So these three gentlemen here just sued the government to end segregation in schools. That means they sued the government to make it so kids from all races could go to school together and get an equal education. This guy here, he's actually on the wall in our classroom. This is Thurgood Marshall. We'll talk a little more about him as we get further into this unit. But the final option was legal action, so suing the government in the courts. Do you think legal action is a good or a bad idea? Why? And finally, it's worth noting many groups used a combination of the three strategies above to try and get equality. If you were alive at this time, which strategy would you use and why? All right, guys, that's it for today. I will talk to Mark.